What's going on, everyone? So, I want to talk about Adou Thiero because he is starting to ramp up and have on-court activities, which is huge for this Lakers team. He's not a guy that I'm expecting to come in and solve all the Lakers' problems. I mean, they clearly have a lack of athleticism issue and a lack of perimeter defense issue. You saw that even in preseason, and he absolutely can help with that. He is hyper athletic, and he was projected to be the best defensive player or one of the best defensive players in the entire draft. So the two things right out the gate that is expected of him is athleticism and defense, which would be huge. But he is a rookie, right? So I'm not expecting him to come in and now that's it. He's the starter. He's shooting 40% from 3-point range and, our third best player or something like that, right? I'm not expecting anything crazy like that. I don't want to put a cap on the young man. We've seen crazy things. We've seen rookies come in and change tides for teams and all that stuff, right? So I don't want to, I would never be ignorant enough to say he's not going to be a difference maker at all. I'm not counting on it, but it very well could happen, right? Now, Adou Thiero getting ramped up though. We didn't get to see him in Summer League. We didn't get to see him in preseason because he's been dealing with an injury, right? Lakers are not going to rush him back by any means. I mean, he could miss another. He's supposed to be reevaluated in a couple weeks. Keep in mind, being reevaluated and returning are two very different things, right? He could be reevaluated and Lakers could say, you know what? Hey, let's give it another 2 weeks, right? He could be reevaluated and doctors sign off and they go, okay, let's give him an opportunity, right? And, also, again, it depends on where are the Lakers, right? So say he misses, let's say he's like LeBron. He misses the first 15 games, right? If everybody's healthy and going and the Lakers are through the first 15 games, I don't know, 11-4, right? Probably not playing Adou Thiero a ton. Probably not, for being honest, right? Assuming everyone's healthy. Now, if a guy, Vando gets, a couple nights off, then sure. Yeah, now you're playing Adou Thiero. But if things are going good, I don't expect him immediately. But if it's man, we really need some athleticism, right? Let's just throw the kid out there and see how it goes. Then I could maybe see him getting an opportunity. Really, I think his opportunities will come when guys kind of get the nights off, right? If a guy gets the night off, it's hey, we got Thiero, right? Especially our defensive guys like Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt. You can even argue if Gabe Vincent misses a night, right? Just using Adou Thiero's size for his athleticism and defense. Basically, any of your defensive guys or guys you're looking at, even Jake LaRavia to an extent, right? I think you can make the argument of hey, let's get Adou Thiero in there rather than even maybe a Dalton Connect, depending on how the offense looks, right? And again, that doesn't mean Dalton Connect won't get opportunities or stuff, but I just think depending on who's out could dictate whether it's Thiero or it's Connect or whatever, right? If Rui gets the night off, you might want Dalton Connect to see if he can kind of catch fire offensively to where he can kind of, fill in. Cause it's okay, we still have all of our defense players, but we're going to miss kind of Rui's offensive versatility. So let's bring in a Dalton Connect and see if maybe he can catch fire. I do think that this is going to be a good opportunity for guys like Dalton Connect regardless. I think Dalton Connect's going to get a real opportunity here, as far as just being able to get the basketball and and get minutes and actually play a role without LeBron, because you're going to need him to an extent, and hopefully he can kind of find his stride. I'm rooting for him, but in general, right? I look at this Lakers team, and I look at Adou Thiero, and he is, at least on paper, everything this Lakers team needs. There's questions about his shooting, right? Because he had the growth spurt and, he had to kind of readjust his shot. Watching him shoot in the gym, again, everyone looks good shooting in the open gym. Talked about, it's very different when, a guy's holding up a stick and it's quiet in the gym and all you hear is just your own dribble, compared to a stadium where it's loud and fans are screaming and cursing at you and guys are running at you full speed and there's just a lot going on, right? Big difference when the pressure's on, all that stuff. I'd like to see them kind of fix his mechanic a little bit, but again, that might come with time, right? We saw Jared Vanderbilt fix his mechanic. I like his shot better. He's much more comfortable with the shot. His release is a lot quicker, right? Adou Thiero's incredibly young. I'm not worried about it, right? But even just long-term and stuff, he is, especially if Austin Reeves is going to be in that backcourt long-term with Luka Doncic. If the plan is to have Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves in that backcourt long term, you definitely need a guy like Adou Thiero. 6'7", 6'8", 7'1" wingspan, 41-inch vertical, guy that can fight, physical, through screens, navigate screens, all of that, right? Like, you really need two of those guys. You need to be able to clone Adou Thiero and put him on both wings, and then now you have those two with DeAndre Ayton, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves, and those two guys can defend multiple positions, right? You look at Dallas and the success that they had, right? Well, they had Derrick Jones Jr., who one of the most, if not arguably the most athletic guy in the league, who basically had the defense, but became the premier kind of 3-and-D guy that season. And then they went and made a trade. Because you got to remember, Dallas was still, like, there were questions of, like, are they going to miss the play-in again? I mean, they still made the finals. They were like, what, a 5th or 6th seed? It wasn't like they were a top seed, right? Like, so, again, there was questions about the team. And then they went and traded for P.J. Washington. And he was a guy that was not even, defense and P.J. Washington weren't even in the same conversation. But we saw him really buy in on the defensive side and really became the anchor defensively for them in a lot of ways. So you get that defensive anchor, you get that, that versatility, right? Like, you need those kind of things alongside Luka, Austin Reeves. And then if DeAndre Ayton continues to buy in on the defense side, now you might actually have enough athleticism and defense, because DeAndre Ayton's got the athleticism. Now you might have enough to make Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic make sense. But you also need Adou Thiero to come around offensively. Right now, if he could be a better finishing Jared Vanderbilt, that's perfect. Because one of the things about Adou Thiero is his ability to finish around the rim, right, with both hands. He's very good at finishing around the rim and through contact with both hands, right? You know what this team really could use? Another Jared Vanderbilt, right? Even despite the offensive flaws. You talk about a guy that, Adou Thiero, excellent rebounder. Jared Vanderbilt's an excellent rebounder. Defender, excellent defender, or projected to be an excellent defender. Jared Vanderbilt, excellent defender. Right, good hustle guy, good athleticism. Right, Adou Thiero, good hustle guy, good athleticism, all those things. Adou Thiero has the potential to kind of give you that compliment. Right, give you that guy that can slot in 2 through 4 for you and defend 1 through maybe even 5 on some occasions. Right, so again, he's a guy that I'm not expecting to be a major impact this season. I don't even know how much he'll necessarily play this season. But he is a guy that I am excited. I do want to see out on the basketball court. I think there's a lot of potential for him. And again, I want to see if he can have an impact this season. The only reason I'm not expecting is, again, he's a rookie. I don't want to put insane expectations on a young man like him, right? But I wouldn't rule it out entirely. Because, again, you never know how these guys are just going to, especially if he's willing to buy in and play that role. Luke is going to make him great. There's a lot that goes into that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass question you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.